Burns' Heir is definitely an interesting episode of The Simpsons. To be honest, I don't feel like it was as good as it could have been, but I still really thoroughly enjoyed it. This is the 18th episode of the 5th season of The Simpsons, directed by Mark Kirkland, and it aired originally in May 1994. And in this one, Mr. Burns realizes, after a kind of near-death experience, that he realizes he doesn't have an heir. Once he's gone, everything he has and is gone. So he decides to hold auditions to find an heir, and there's this fabulous bit of animation and comedy where people are auditioning to be his heir, and I really loved it and thoroughly enjoyed it. And ultimately he decides to make Bart his heir. And what follows is Bart spending time with Mr. Burns and in Mr. Burns' home, and Bart having conflicting information, part of him wanting to be there, part of him missing his family, part of him never wanting to see his family again because of certain things he believes. And it's definitely a roller coaster ride for Bart. And that aspect of it I really enjoyed. I liked seeing him interacting with Mr. Burns that way and how Mr. Burns was treating him. Definitely very unpredictable at times. But what I wish we'd seen more of, and we get a tiny glimmer of this with the train. The train I thought was a brilliant mystery, but I would have liked to have seen more of what Bart's life would have been like if he lived with Mr. Burns. We only really see a tiny bit of it, and I think it would have been more interesting to see that in more detail. But it was still good fun. I also loved the other Simpsons family. I don't want to say any more than that, I don't want to spoil it, but I thought that was a brilliant idea. Really found a lot of entertainment in that as well. So it's an episode that from start to finish I found to be engaging, entertaining, and unpredictable. It isn't perfect. I do think we could have seen more of Mr. Burns' home, or what Bart's life would have been like there long term. Certainly The Simpsons would be very different if it was set in Mr. Burns' home. But I enjoyed it. I did enjoy it. If you haven't seen it for whatever reason, it is an episode that I thoroughly recommend. If you have seen it and you haven't seen it in a while, I'd say give it another watch. It's an episode I've seen a few times now, and I am at the point now where a lot of the episodes I've only seen once or twice. I'm actually currently watching season 12 at the moment. My reviews are quite a bit behind, and I haven't seen some of those episodes before. So I've reached the point where everything's new and exciting. But this episode, even with a couple of watches, it's still exciting. Still really enjoy it. Burns' Heir, although not perfect, is one that I will happily watch again.